So last night, the Dallas Cowboys took the major L to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. While everybody thought it was going to be a blowout, it ended up being an amazing game. I'm not going to sit here and hate. But my job as a Philadelphia Eagles, content creator, whatever you want to call it, is to be honest about what I saw last night. So I'm going to tell you what I saw out of Dallas Cowboys and whether or not we should be a little bit afraid of what they're going to bring this year.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you.
Fly, Eagles flying on the team. Touchdown, time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a bird game nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling on Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man saw Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randall. Season here, early time to do them in. Your boy Philly Fresco. Thanks for tuning in.
What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, and this is Philly the podcast. So, like I said, today I want to talk about the Dallas Cowboys last night, man. There was a lot to, take from that game. There was a lot that happened last night between Dak, between the wide receivers, running back, and even the defense showed a little bit. So I want to get into that. Now, before we do, be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe if you are new. We are on the road to 3K, and we would love for you guys to join that ride. Now, let's get into it, man. So we'll start with the most important position on the field because I feel like that's the best place to always start, and that's at quarterback. Dak Prescott, I'll be honest, he looked amazing. He looked great. He looked like he was ready. He looked like he didn't miss a game. No, he went out there and he was balling out. The offensive line did great, man. And I have to give a little bit of the credit to Kellen Moore as well. He schemed it up, so he kind of made this pass rush kind of non-existent, especially through the first half. Throughout the second half, they were kind of getting home a little bit more, but throughout the first half, man, quick passes, getting it on the perimeter. You can't really ask for more than that. Dak Prescott was barely getting touched for most of the first half, and when that happens, he's gonna find somebody open. He is that guy. He's going to find somebody open. So you got to give him that credit, man. He went out there, he looked good. I will say on a negative side, he did look smaller but slower. He looked like he wasn't as fast, as agile as last year, prior to the injury. Obviously, that might have something to do with the injury. That might just have something to do with him trying to get his legs back, trying to, get the legs back under him. It could be either one of those, but it is something you got to look out for. Now, a big negative, in my opinion, it goes with Mike McCarthy and Ezekiel Elliott. Zeke Elliott had, I believe, 4 carries in the first half. That man's getting paid darn near $20 million a year, and you only give him 4 carries. We've had this problem with Doug Peterson where he just refused, it felt like, to run the ball. Dak Prescott threw the ball, I think, 2 attempts short of 60 attempts last night. And that's not good for long-term success. So, look, the Eagles are a team that you're going to have to beat us in the air. So the fact that they can do that does definitely worry me. Don't get me wrong. But the fact that they seem to just not care about having a run game, maybe it was just because they thought Buccaneers were hard to run against. But if you think they're hard to run against, when you go against a team like the Eagles, who literally stifle teams, it's going to be interesting to see what your decision is there. Zeke Elliott, to me, should be a very big part of this team. When you have a high-paid, high-talent running back like that, you have to utilize him. You have to get this offense going through him, in my opinion. It opens up so much more for Dak Prescott, opens up so much more for these wide receivers. But that's just my opinion. Maybe they don't even need to do that. It is what it is. CeeDee Lamb looked decent. CeeDee Lamb was out there doing his thing. He had a couple of drops. Amari Cooper also was kind of killing it. Amari Cooper looked great last night. And it is what it is. The tight end had a couple good grabs. Their offense is good. I think that this is what we all knew. We all knew going into this game that the offense would be the marquee of this team. And it was. I don't think anybody was shocked by that. Now let's move over to the defense a little bit, man. The defense early on looked really good. I will get, they were letting them get to the 20-yard line. They were letting Tom Brady move it within the 20-yard line, but they weren't scoring too much. Same could be said about the Dallas Cowboys. Obviously, in the second half, you just couldn't stop Tom Brady. It is what it is. So I'm not going to go too deep. I liked seeing Micah Parsons on the run stopping. I liked seeing him, out there on pass plays. He really showed me some stuff. But other than that, this defense is what I thought this defense would be, very beatable. I'm not too afraid of this defense. There's nothing that showed me that I should sit here and be like, we got to watch out for this guy. We got to watch out for that. We got to watch out for this. I'm not too worried about this defense. Honestly, I see a lot of the same things I saw last year. They were getting beat up yesterday, so they might have a couple injuries on this team. I'm not too worried. I'm not too worried, man. I really don't think that they fixed their secondary at all. Chris Godwin was basically, he was doing whatever he wanted. And honestly, if Mike Evans was able to actually catch a ball, he probably would have had a pretty good day as well. The man just dropped like 2 huge passes. One at the end of the game that honestly might have just ended the game right there. There was nobody in front of him or behind him. So, realistically, it could have been even worse for this Dallas defense. I will say they played a great game, man. They played a great game. If I'm, sitting here being real, you can't get that many turnovers on Tom Brady and not make it count. So while I do say that this offense is something to worry about, they're going to have to figure out, obviously, the kicking situation. Welcome to our world. But they're obviously going to have to figure out what their kicker is going to do going forward. But they're also going to have to figure out how to score in the red zone, especially if you're not going to be using Zeke. I believe in the end of the game, they used Pollard in the red zone. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this works out, see what happens with Ezekiel Elliott, because I think that this offense is gonna get predictable if you don't start using Zeke Elliott the right way. But that's really where I'm at right now. Look, shout out to the Cowboys, man. You guys should be excited about that game. It was a really good game. If we would have been that close to, I think we can beat Tampa Bay, but if we were that close to Tampa Bay in the first week, I'd be very excited. I'd be very happy about my team. So I'm not going to sit here and tell y'all to shut up. I'll do that on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? So that's just kind of how I looked at the game. I want to know what you guys think. Are you a little bit more worried about the Cowboys? Do you think they're the team to beat? I will say right now, probably. They had a good showing. I'm not going to lie. So let me know what you think. But other than that, y'all know what it is, man. It is Fly Eagles Fly. And we are out here. Peace!
Everywhere. This is for you.
Fly Eagles Fly. Touchdown, time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a bird gang nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here cool on Philly.